Now you can see our field of play. We have 8 positions for our 8 finalists. Okay, we have 2 spare positions if something goes wrong in the final, but 8 positions for best 8 shooters who are starting with sighting in few seconds. We had some interesting facts because we have quite strict rules, and today we saw one penalty because athlete was late arrival on the reporting time for the final. So it's not strict only on the field of play, we are strict also before the field of play when checking athletes, making notes, and everything else. Now in our picture you can see jury in charge for this final. It's Maurizio Calzolari from Italy. He's in charge of this final and he will be the supervision of all competition today.
Okay, if you look at the athletes, you see that they're very concentrated, and now they're going to prepare for the sighting series.
Yes, they have 5 minutes, and after that there will be presentation, and we can say something more about the athletes. We can also speak something about the targets. We are using electronic targets which are laser guided, so every shot is going through the laser grid and records and measures the distance of shot from the center of the target. So we have very precise reading of that, and practically there is very small possibility of having mistake measuring that shot.
Yes, you see that they load the pellet, they close the weapon, and then they start aiming. This aiming cycle takes normally between 10 and 15 seconds.
So if they don't succeed in first attempt, they still have time to have second attempt in the final, and they don't run out of time.
Right, you see they're aiming, the movement of the pistol, it's very precise. Shooting is vision and pulling the trigger
according to the rules, so all the
at the right
athletes
time.
have to absolve 2 series by
Yes,
5 shots.
The
at a
pistol
time of
shooting is a bit
250
different than
seconds.
rifle because you have to control
After
everything
these
with
10 shots,
one
we go
arm,
on in single
and
shots.
still,
And
as a
after
plus, you
each
have
2
500
single
grams of
shots,
trigger weight
we
you
have
to pull,
decisions.
so it's a
That
bit
means
different
after
and
12
harder
shots, we have the
for
decision for the
some
8th place,
than the rifle,
after
because you
14
have more
shots,
control
the
over the rifle
decision
with
for
2
the
hands,
7th,
additional
and so
support,
on up
and
to the
pistol
moment
has
where we
no
have only
additional
2
equipment,
athletes at the
so the
line
pistol shooters
who are
have
fighting
no
for
support
gold.
from their
We hope that
equipment
the
while they
advantages
shoot.
are not so big, so
You see
also
that
the
the
last
athletes
shots
have
will
blocked
be
off the vision
good
of one
for
eye. That gives
really
them the possibility to concentrate
hard
with
and near
the one eye
decision
looking at
who gets the medal
the sides
up
of
to the
the
last
pistol
moment.
and
For
aim.
you, that means please
That
give
aiming
us much
cycle
applause for the
starts now.
athletes. They like it, they want it
And
as
when he has
motivate
the
to
right
fight
vision
harder for a top shot.
at the target he shoots.
So we have to check if you're really ready this morning. So do we have some friends from Serbia? Hello.
The athletes are still in sighting. Now you can see the sitting athletes. The shooter is sitting on the chair. But we also supervise the sitting position, so he's not gaining any support and to have advantage to the shooters who are standing. So he must not lean on the poles to get additional support, help, and make him better conditions for shooting. So we have to take care about that also in our sport. And we have pretty strict rules about that. You can say something more about that?
Yes, I will come to the rules later, but you can see that during the sighting series they try to concentrate and find their perfect zero position. And if they have that perfect zero position, they have the best opportunities to win this finals. Regarding the technical rules, in the technical rules is written what is allowed regarding the seat. You see different type of seats, stools. That's all written down in our rules.
Yes, there are rules, but we must add that we are practically using 2 sets of rules. First set is International Sport Shooting Federation rules, which are basic, and then we have additional rules which are for World Shooting Parasport, and all our rules are combinations of those 2 rules together.
Right. We see the time is running out. There's only 51 seconds left. Then the command stop will given.
And we have quite some audience today for this first final, which is very nice to see, to have full finals hall, a lot of audience supporting their athletes.
Okay. Preparation time almost ended. Then we will get the presentation of all the athletes.
Now you can see, because the time is running out, so some athletes already inserting the safety flag into their pistols to show that their pistols are unloaded and safe, so they can be put down on the table.
Now all the athletes will face the audience, and the presentation of each individual athlete will take place now.
So on the firing position A, there is representing Serbia, Papas Živko. And he was the guy who was late reporting, so he starts with -2 from his first shot. He has a little bit of disadvantage, but he can overwhelm that and he can still get in the top position.
Right. The next athlete is from Great Britain, Stuart Nigel. He is still concentrating.
So he was also the finalist in P4 in Paralympic Games in Rio. Luckily we can hear some background from the range and hear some of his back success. He's standing shooter.
Yes.
On the position C is Pesek Tomas representing Czech Republic. He is a little bit more fresh in our sport, so he has not so many international success, but this is his first international World Cup final for air pistol.
The next one is from India, Singri. He's a standing athlete. He's using a high stool. When he shoots from a high stool.
So he didn't won any medals until today, and today is his chance to win his first medal on World Cup. On the firing position E, we have Denzyuk Alexei from Ukraine. I think he's quite famous shooter already, and he has quite a lot of list of international success.
This athlete has won several medals in different competitions. He's well experienced.
Yes.
Next athlete is from India again, Narval Manish. He ended in the qualification round with a score of 578, is number 1.
Yes, and he also have a new qualification world record for juniors.
Yes, it's impressive. Juniors are coming more and more to our sport. That's great.
Yes, very great, and impressive is also that his score was really high, and he won with fair advantage in front of others, but in the final we start from 0, so he will have to prove himself one more time if he wants to win.
We will learn his nerves.
Yes. Then we have Karagol Sevat from Turkey. He's again sitting athlete. Do we know something about his international success?
He's well known in our shooting competitions. He's well trained and has a lot of experience.
And again,
we have a third athlete from India, Dipender Singh. He is new in the scene.
yes, India is putting a lot of effort in shooting sport and also in parachuting. So India is really hard gaining the form, and they're really good at it, and they have good staff, good coaches, so their scores are higher from the competition to competition.
Right, it's a growing nation with a lot of sport activities, and also our sport shooting is growing in that region.
As we mentioned before, jury in charge for this final is Maurizio Cazzolari from Italy.
So after the presentation, the athletes has 2 minutes to prepare themselves before the final really starts.
Yes, in those 2 minutes they will achieve their position one more time because they have to turn, so they have to find their position back again to find that spot of their best position, balance and everything, so they can start with the final. They have 2 minutes for do that, and also they will try to gain again back to the top concentration.
Right.
They can start.
So now we will start with a series of 5 shots, 250 seconds. The athlete can reload without a command, but he needs to finish within this time frame.
And we must mention that we are taking very good care they don't load before the command, because there is also penalty for loading before. So everything is in this sport, in this final, is very controlled and very commanded, we can say.
Yes. So they have to listen to the commands of the chief range officer.
Yes. He is the boss of the range, we can
Yes,
say.
he's in charge. You can see on their faces the concentration. They're waiting for the command of the CRO.
And probably also the pulse is starting to rise a little bit. Especially the first shot is normally the hardest. You have to start somehow.
Yes.
And normally in these finals, normally the athletes who starts good in 5-shot series, he gets his self-confidence and he can run through the finals. But if you start a little bit not so happy result, you have very hard time to gain from the bottom to the top, and not a lot of them can do that normally.
Yes, but we have experienced athletes on the line, so sometimes they even surprise us about their scoring.
Yeah.
Okay, we're waiting for the command of the CRO. Then they take out the safety line and load after the command load.
See, the concentration is rising.
For the first competition series, load.
So now the 5 shots series start.
Start.
The countdown of 250 seconds you can see in the screen.
Yes, they have the 250 seconds for 5 shots. Normally they finish before, but it can happen also that sometimes shooter is not able to shoot all 5 shots in that time limit. So he has then big disadvantage. Papats has a penalty, and he started really bad. Probably this penalty shook him a little bit. And
Yes, but you see they have a different score at the first shot. We have almost a perfect shot of Danchuk with a 10.9, which is the highest score you can achieve.
yeah, this is the perfect center of the target, almost. It is really offset just a little bit.
Right.
And you don't see a lot of them in the final of the air pistol.
No, but you see his concentration. He's really confident about his position and his shooting cycle.
Yes, and he's really experienced and he can control him. But also Narval is quite high with 10-3 in his second shot. So he's proving us that that junior world record was not coincidence. He is really in good shape, in good form, but he has still a lot of shooting to do to prove it till the end.
If you pay attention when we have a perfect view of the athlete facing the pistol to the camera, you can see almost the heartbeat of the athlete. So 3 shots, we still have 2 shots to go in this first.
Yeah,
5
interesting
shots
is
period.
they have quite the same tempo, so you can see all the athletes are shooting in the same time limit, so we are all have the same number of the shots. So that means that nobody did have a second aiming or maybe third aiming. They are just shooting in the rhythm. They are continuing with the shooting. And you can feel the high concentration on their faces.
Nice.
But the final is still long. We have quite few shots till the end, so it can change. It can change in one shot, especially with the pistol. So we cannot say that somebody is favorite after first 5 shots.
No, it can happen that in the second series of 5 shots, the total sequence of 1, 2, 3, 4 will change.
So Densiuk has finished. He has shot his 5 shots. So now he can wait to see what the others are doing around him.
Right. You see that Demchuk did 8.9 last shot, but we will see that the others probably will pass him.
Peszek is also in good shape. He shot his last shot 10.9, and we can see he has 3 strong 10s and 2 strong 9s. So unfortunately we cannot see the scoreboard with total score, but I think Peszek will be in the lead now. Looking at his target only, he has really nice group, and
You see that Nigel from Great Britain is struggling with his concentration. The spread of the shots are really wide. So now the zero is giving the command stop. That means that the scoring of the first 5 shots will be announced. So now the athletes get an impression where I am on the ranking list, and do I have a chance to win these finals.
yes, Peszek is in the lead with 51.4, which is quite high score, and second place is Singh, third place is Densiuk, and fourth is Kargol from Turkey. And then we have Narval, Singray, Nangel, and Papats. Papats and his -2 put him in pretty low position, and also the first shot was very bad, and he has to struggle now and fight to come back to this final.
Yes, he needs to concentrate and get a higher score. We will see in a few seconds what he's gonna do. Okay, all the athletes are still concentrated and waiting for the command for the next 5 shots in this final.
You can see a hard grip for the pistol. He wants to have perfect control of the grip, so he can squeeze that trigger with 500 grams precisely and without any movements of the barrel of the pistol while triggering the pistol.
If you face the athlete's face, sometimes you see how concentrated they are and also how they control their nerves, because it's really interesting what's going on right now. We have the first shot.
And Peszek is continuing quite good shooting because
Papa's made a very nice shot, 10.8. It's almost perfect.
yes, he has to continue shooting like this to stay in this final, to overcome his -2 from the start, and also the bad shots from the start of this final.
We will see in the coming shots what's gonna happen.
Densiuk first shot was 8, so he's also struggling a little bit, and Singray also.
You see that they are very concentrating during aiming. You can almost see the heartbeat.
Also Peszek shot an 8 in his second shot, so
Okay, well,
probably the nerves are working now after first series. The blood pressure is rising, the pulse is rising a little bit, so it's not so easy to do all final in same shape.
perfect shot from Denchuk, 10.5. So he got his concentration back after the 8.
Yeah. And also Papat second shot 9.5, so he's gaining his minds together and he can stay in the final.
You see Garagol needs to compensate his 7 with 2 10s.
Yes. And then you can see the focus on his face.
He's concentrated.
Yes.
But you see immediately after the shot, he was looking at the screen for how good did I shoot.
What is not the best.
No.
All the coaches will recognize this mistake.
But you see, that are the nerves during this final.
Yeah.
Even you can see in the audience, they are concentrated on the score. They're following what's going on the firing line.
But Danzig still loses. He shot again one more 8, so he has also the trouble getting in shape back. He has some good shots and some bad shots. What is some kind of picture? He's not in top shape probably now, and he needs to gain himself. But again, he shots 10 and then bad, and 10 and bad, and again 9.9, which is also a good shot.
Right. So now we can see you going to the target, aiming, concentrating, have the right picture, and then trigger. You see the concentration on his face.
Yes. And Cargol is still suffering. He has 7, he has 8, and also
You see,
sometimes.
oh, we saw his reaction of the shot. Most of the time, the athlete knows immediately when he pulled the trigger if it was a good or a bad shot.
Yes, normally we are aware what's happening with our pistol, so
They can see the movement after the shot is fired, which gives an indication of the score.
so Singh was the last one shooting, and we'll see our score now.
In a few seconds, we can see the changes in the ranking.
Okay.
Oh, yes, the big change, you see.
Yes, Pesek is in the lead, but then Narval, the junior world record holder from today, is on the second place. Then it's Danzig, and then Singh, and then again Singh Rai. So we have India in top 5 places, and then we have Turkey Kargol, Nangle, and Papats on the last place, and Papats is 1.4 behind the 7th place, and he has 2 shots to overcome that to stay in this final.
Yes, now we start with single shots on command, and after each shot, one athlete is eliminated. After he is eliminated, he needs to leave the field of play. That means he is getting out of the scene and sits down backwards, and he can watch what the other finalists are doing.
Yes, and we will, after every second shot, we will eliminate lowest ranking athletes. So at the end, for the last 2 shots, we will have only 2, the best shooter today in this final.
Okay, let's follow what's going on. This is the first shot of the elimination.
Yes. And we have both shooters here, Papats and Nangle are 7th and 8th, so they fight for their final place. They don't want to be first to going home from this final.
Definitely. So we look both of them.
Nangle 9.3. Papats 9.7. Difference was 1.4. So Papats is 1.0 behind Nangle.
Getting closer. Oh yes, it's going to be interesting now.
Because in pistol 1.0 difference between them is not so much. And Singrai 10.6, but the best shot of this series now.
Okay, after this shot, it's going to be clear who is the first athlete who is eliminated.
The difference is 1.0 between 2 of them, and we'll see who will stay in this final. We must also remind that our announcer on the field of play let them audience and also the shooter to know the difference, so they have a little bit more pressure also to gain.
Yes, they can follow the game, but that's not what coaches want. They must be concentrated on their own final scoring.
Yes, but it's hard not to hear when they mention your name.
Right, you need to ignore this all during the finals.
Yeah. Narval here now in the lead. We can see his position in the first place. Shooting quite good.
Yes. So now, after the 2 series of 5 shots where every athlete wants to be the highest score, now sometimes you can play the defensive play and say, I take more time, and we have the first elimination.
He's not the happiest person now in the shooting range, but this is the sport, and he has the 8th place now, and he will learn something also because of his late arrival in the final, probably.
Right, now we continue with 7 athletes So the next two shots, the elimination of the next athlete will take place. And we will see what's
And we
gonna
can see
happen.
we have a tie in the lead now. Narwhal and Peszek has 118.2, and they have the same score after 12 shots. But there is also 12 shots to go, and we'll see what will happen later.
Okay. You see. Wait for the command.
On the next competition shot, load.
Now he's allowed to load. You saw his hesitation.
Stop.
Closing. Breathing. And aim.
Yes, and we can see he's quite fast from loading, concentrating, and starting with aiming process.
He's concentrated, taking his time. If you noticed, he blinked his eye just before
Yes.
the shot, so that gives him a better vision of the target.
Sometimes we say you shoot with your eye because when you're fully concentrated, when you blink with the eye, the bullet.
Oh, Nigel did a bad shot on 8.
Chateauroux has a hard fight now. The Turkish another 7th rank, one shot before the decision for this. But the advantage of Nangel is 0.2. That is nothing when you see what they're shooting. Everything could happen here.
Yeah, Nangel is in front of the Turkish shooter, so Nangel is now in 6th place and Kargol is seventh, but the difference is only 0.2, which is practically nothing in air pistol. So 0.2 is very small difference they have to gain now.
Yes. So we will see if Nigel holds his position or does he let it slip.
Okay.
So we wait until he
We
left the field of play. Then we continue. But what happened in detail?
It was only 0.2, so it was, but we must see the scoreboard. So because here we don't hear all the scores.
Oh,
He shot 8.4, yes, and Kargol shot 9.2, and it is 0.6 difference in Kargol's side. So Kargol is in the final, but looking for the difference, he's almost 6 points behind. He will stay on 6th place. He have very little chance going forward on the ring because 6 in 2 shots, it's hard mission to
it's
accomplish.
almost impossible. But we will see. You never know. It depends what the other athletes are doing.
Yes.
But you see the concentration, the experience.
Yeah, this is Densyuk from Ukraine. And the shot, and very good shot. It's good 10.
Okay.
And I think this is Singh from India. Also young shooters. India has a lot of young shooters coming.
Stop.
Over this time, the best shot comes from
Okay.
Ukraine. You know, let's see, it's all 10.8.
Yes, Densyuk shot 10.8. It was the best shot of that series and really high score from him again.
You see, he is more relaxed than in the beginning of the
Yeah.
two 5-shot series.
And he's in the lead again, and he leads for
Yeah,
0.9.
it is even growing.
Yeah.
You see?
And Kargol is probably saying goodbye because he's 4.4 behind and one more shot. Except if somebody from India makes very, very big mistake.
Right.
Because you can see we have India on position 3, 4, and 5.
That is great. But we will see what's going to happen in the next shot.
Stop.
Again, Densyuk.
You see his finger. He is feeling the trigger, checking.
And
He's
he's
confident. And then make a shot.
really focused. But the shot was not so great, and he does not look satisfied and happy after that shot.
Now he realized that the second in line will be very close now.
Yeah.
We will see what's going to happen.
Stop.
Yes, and the 6th place goes by good fight, but the advantage goes to Turkey. Karagol,
Okay, Karagol is 6th place now. He's eliminated. He has to insert the safety flag. We have to wait that he moves away from the fields of play.
So we have 5 athletes in the field, 3 from India. We will see how strong the other countries are, because there's a lot of pressure from India right now in the final.
Yeah, Narval is again in the lead, so the Densyuk and Narval are changing, and also Pesik is there. So first 3 positions are tied together, and they're changing position from shot to shot, and it's still more pressure to Densyuk and Pesik because they are in 1 point between all 3 of them for the gold medal.
Yeah, it's possible for each athlete that's still in the final to win this game.
But if you ask me, I would pick one from those 3, Densyuk, Narval and Pesik, because they're showing the most stability shooting, and they're calm, and also they have some experience also.
Right, we will follow them.
Okay, Pesik. You can see the concentration.
First shot's fired.
Narval, he's still junior, very young.
Well, now you see the movement. He started the movement. Okay.
But he shot quite good.
Still good. Still good he shot.
Place is done, and the advantage of now Village on the fourth rank becomes bigger, 2.7 right now. That's the thing I have
Oh,
to use it now.
Yeah, Narval is in the lead. He's 0.9 in front of Singh on the second place.
yeah.
Then it's Densyuk on the third, and Pesek is now fourth. So the scoring is changing, and 1 shot before we have the 5th place, and we can see that Singrai is, yeah, he has quite a lot.
Maybe his nerve is playing and with him.
Yeah.
And we will see in this second shot. It's important to have a good shot right now.
If they want to stay in the final, they all must shot good, because the differences are quite small, and you can fall from 1st place to 5th in blink of an eye.
Yes. If you miss 1 full ring, you drop
Yeah.
in the scoring.
Singh, quite good shot, about 9.8 approximately. Let's see.
Okay, we have the next elimination. Now 4 athletes are left. Now it's the most critical thing. Who will be the medal finalists? So the next one is the last eliminator, but the other 3 will be the finalists. And then it's important who is going to win gold, silver, bronze.
Because if you left inside when there are 4 of them, if you are not eliminated, you have a medal. So you can go home with a prize. And the 4th place is always the worst place you want to be. You are so close, but so far away from the medal.
Right, so now the pressure will rise. We will see how good are the athletes to concentrate themselves for the next shot.
First shot, for 4. Your applause, please.
We can see India in 1st and 2nd position. Narwal, he's showing that his world record as junior was not coincidence. He's really strong now and showing good form, good concentration.
Yes, I'm pretty sure that the other ones with more experience are impressed about what he's showing here.
We are also.
Yes. Okay.
And Pesek now must to keep his nerve together and show some good shooting if he wants to stay in this final.
Right. See the concentration. Wow. Yeah, very nice shot.
It is 10.0.
So we'll see what the other are doing.
There must be no mistakes now.
You see they're hearing the results. In front of the athletes there's a screen. They can also follow.
Yeah, no, Densyuk has shot very bad. And Densyuk is now on the 4th place, and it's 0.6 behind the 3rd place. So now it's the Pesek and Densyuk fighting for the place in the final and for the medal. It's surprisingly, Densyuk has shot quite well, being his experience and knowledge. It's quite a surprise.
But look at him. He is really nervous now. He wants to win, but he has to good.
Now he has to have a good shot. If he wants to stay there, he has to have a good shot. And now he has 50 seconds to prove himself.
Right. We'll see in a second what's happening.
This is Pesek on third place now.
It's critical what he is doing.
Yeah, good
That
time.
is a nice score. We will see what. It's almost
Yeah,
impossible.
no, it's,
No.
yeah, I think Densiuk
must
is
have
out. Yeah. Yes,
Yep,
Densiuk is
he's
out.
out. He's out.
Yeah, we must say that also the athletes have a monitor in front of them. If they watch the monitors, they can see the ranking, and he knew after the shot that he's ruled out and he's eliminated, so he has the fourth place, and now we have three best athletes. It's India, and Czech Republic, and we'll see who will take the gold medal, and I think the gold medal gives them also Olympic quota.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be interesting who is going to win this final. But they are that close together. Everything can happen. Now the nerves come really up.
Yeah.
Do you want to win? Yes. Then you must be concentrated for the coming shots.
Now, tricky question, who's your favorite in those three shooters?
Oh,
Who will you bet for?
we will see in a second, but the best must win.
Yes, the best must win.
But it would be very nice
Competition,
if a junior wins.
Yes, I agree with you because he showed so much today.
Right.
He broke the new
He's
world
really
record.
strong.
Yeah.
He's really strong. Now people are going clapping to make it more intensive
Yeah.
for the athletes. Can they
Intensive,
concentrate?
but he really looks very focused.
Right.
He's onto the target. Quite good shot, stable,
Yep,
strong
right.
nines also gives you nice position.
Oh, it's-
The best shot on this Pacific 10.7.
Yeah, we heard that somebody shot 10.7, but we don't know who. Ah, Pesek on the third place.
oh, he's getting closer. Only
Yes. Yeah, but
0.3 difference.
Narwhal has 2 points lead, and then Singh and Pesek, they will decide now who will stay in the final and who will get only the bronze medal now.
Yes,
0.3 difference between them, so
0.3 difference. If they end up with a equal score, we have a shoot-off. You never know.
yes,
It's a possibility.
then they will have additional shot to shoot, and this shot will say who will stay there, but we'll see.
Let's see. The concentration.
stop.
Narwhal looks quite calm down, really on the earth, but Pesek will now have to pull the best he has if he wants to stay in this final.
The best he can do is a 10.9.
Yes,
We'll see.
it's only 0.3 difference between him. Pesek 9.5 and Singh. Singh stays in the final. Pesek is
Is
winner
out.
of bronze medal.
Wins the bronze medal. So he's eliminated. He leaves firing line.
Yeah. He has
But is
third
it-
position. Bronze medal on the World Cup is quite high, and
It's a good achievement.
yeah,
So it seems that we know who are the two quarter
You see his face. He's happy. Of course he wants to win the gold, but that's
Yeah.
what it is today. So now we end up with two athletes from India.
1 point difference between
1
them.
point difference. So now it comes to the final nerves.
Yeah,
Who
two
can
mo-
win? And they have been training probably very often together.
Yeah.
So they know their strength.
Yeah, and 2 more shots only. 2 more shots to go. 2 more shots, and we'll know who's the winner of the gold medal in this World
Right.
Cup final.
So now they have the possibility to play the game. Wait for the other athlete to shoot first. Who is going to shoot first?
I think Narwhal will not play tactics. He will.
Okay, we will see. We will see what
I
he's
think he will shoot straight away when he's focused and not counting on his
doing. Okay, good.
opponent mistake or bad spot.
Or he do a quick shot
Yeah.
to impress the other one.
Because also they are quite young athletes, so
Yes, but look at his concentration.
yeah.
Ah, he did the first shot,
9.0.
9.0.
And Singh also.
Okay, the difference stays the same,
Yeah.
1 point. So the last shot
Will
is
decide.
really the decision.
And now we will feel the tension in the finals hall.
So
Narwhal,
So if Narwhal shoots a 9.9, then
yes, we can have a tie, but shooting 10.9 in last shot,
so
It's
he
it's
needs
art.
he is a 9. Well, he feels comfortable if he has
Yes.
a 9.9, then he has the gold
Next competition
medal.
shot, low.
okay.
Start.
You see,
Yes.
he's looking at the opponent.
Yeah, it's mind game also.
Oh yeah,
And interesting is because Narwhal is left-handed,
Yes,
he's right-handed,
right-handed. They can
so
see.
they can see each other.
let's see what's going to happen.
Yeah,
Narwhal needs a 9.9. Then
Yeah.
he's absolute the winner.
oh
Ooh, there's still a possibility.
no,
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 game over.
game over. The nerves were tight, but
So this final is finished.
yes, Narwhal gets the gold medal. He set the new junior qualification world record today also, and he gets a gold medal and also the quota place.
Right, it was a very good final. Very impressive what they have shown us
Yeah.
today.
Singh doesn't look so happy. He had a chance in that last shot, but he didn't take it,
Yeah.
and so he had second place. This is the Singh.
Okay, now the finalists get presentation.
Okay,
The three medalists. They achieved it.
yes,
Impressive.
Yeah,
impressive
very
final.
nice
I feel
shooting.
Very good.
high score. So this will be our goodbye for now, and you can see us back today in P2 final, which will start at 13:30.
Okay, thank you for your attention.
See you later.
See you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
I have a question for the winner.